Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Aaron Painting. In this video I will show you how to cel shade a car for Gaslands. Cel shading or tone shading is a technique to make something 3D look 2D, to make it look like something from a cartoon. This is how it turned out, and I promise you that if you follow some easy steps you can make your car look like this or even better. Because this was the first model I've ever painted, and if I can do it, so can you. The first thing I did was finding a beat up car in my local thrift shop. This is a red Corgi Jaguar XJS model with blacked out windows, which is totally fine because the windows will get painted. I then took a picture of the car under some heavy lighting, making it easier for me to see the shadows. In natural light, shadows will be blurred and gradient, but since we are looking to block out the colors, heavy lighting is a big help. I then edited the picture and started to color the car. Since I used my iPad, all this was applied with my finger. You can definitely use more sophisticated software, but well, you don't have to. To me, this step helped me visualize the painting process. Perhaps you don't need it, then you can just skip it. Okay, let's have a look. I counted 5 shades of red: an almost black red at the bottom of the car, a brownish red at the side of the car, a muted red around the windows, a pure red for most of the car, and an almost white color for the highlights. Some notable details I will make sure to reproduce: the half-moon shaped highlights over the wheels and those on the side of the car. The fact that the windshields are lighter than the windows on the side, and these details. Okay, let's get to it. I gave the car a good scrub to remove as much of the paint as possible. I could have stripped it or sanded it down, but since we won't apply any dry brushing, it's not a must. I then primed it white and glued the wheels so the car won't move around on the tabletop. Now for the painting process itself. I'll start by painting the rear window on the back side windows blue. Like that. And now for the front side windows, we'll be applying a bit of white to the mixture. And now for the windshield, we'll be applying a bit more white. Alright, so dark, lighter, lightest, and now we're gonna apply a half moon shape on the windshield, making it a bit lighter with a bit more white. Like so. And now for the wheels. Like that. Painted the tires black and the rims. I've painted the lower half of the rim grey, adding just a bit of white to the black. So I've corrected my mistakes with a bit of white, and now I'm gonna paint all the chassis red. So here it is, all red, and I've corrected a whole lot of mistakes. And now I am gonna paint the lower sides of the car. So if it's tipped a little, you can see this line here. I'm gonna paint below that using Gory Red from Vallejo a bit darker than the color the car is now. And since this call for a bit of accuracy, and I'm not an experienced painter, I'm gonna do it off camera. So be right back. Alright, I got a little carried away. I did the sides as we talked about, and I painted the lower part of the sides a darker brownish red, just added a bit of black to this color. I did some details over here and also on top of the car. Then I repainted the bumpers black, and I did a bit of black lining back here. What we're going to do now is paint this part red and then highlight it. And now with the highlights all done, see, I did some here and up here, also over here. Very strong highlight at the front of the car, a bit under the windshield, and the same over here. Also a tiny dot of light in the shadowed dent, just like at our reference picture. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna finish the windows. For some reason, cartoon cars also always has some striation, and we're gonna do that with white paint, added some lamium medium, which should make it see-through. And then we're gonna do some striation over the half moon shape over here and down the side. There you go. Now I will do the headlights and also the license plate. For the headlights I will use a mix of white and the orange we used for the highlights, and for the license plate I will use white. Ta-da! So far I like it, but cell shading is nothing without the black lining. And well, this is kind of a religion. So some people swear that the only thing that'll do the trick is real ink. If you're going down that road, be sure you choose an ink that won't fade in sunlight. Some people use a very small brush and black acrylic paint, but we are gonna do something else. So these micron pens, Pigma micron pens, they are well, it is, I'm not quite sure if it's acrylic, but it sure acts like it is. And they are for, as you can see, archival ink. It won't fade ever, and it creates, if you use it on paper, it creates the letters will be on top of the paper instead of soaking through, and apparently that is great for not fading. But I have seen other people use this for cell shading, and I will try to do the same. I have two different points, and 003 and a 03. So these are, as you can see, These are very, very tiny. 03, this one is 3 millimeters, and this is, well, this is a tenth of that. Alright, so this is my first time ever doing this, and I'm a bit nervous, but I'm sure it'll be great. What I'm not gonna blackline is the windows. I'm not gonna blackline that, but I am gonna blackline this and up here, around the windows, of course. I am gonna do something about, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a grill there. I'm gonna blackline that. I'm gonna blackline over here the headlines. I will do some letters or something on the license plate. Yeah, and we'll I'll see what makes sense. And I will give you a review on how the pens work, or if I love them or hate them. So, crossing my fingers, be right back. Alright, all done. And I think I like it. Well, it's supposed to say burn. I'm not quite sure if you can read it. It ended up being the only thing I used the small pen for, the 003. It didn't take well on the acrylic surface. I had to, yeah, you can see here. I had to do a lot of this to make it continue work. So they're definitely not a great match for miniature painting. This is a flat surface, so if you're working with a miniature with more details, more curves, more dense, it would definitely not be a great fit. So I guess I just have to learn to steady my hands and do this by brush. But nevertheless, I'm quite happy with my results. And I kind of think, well, it was easy. I definitely see why cell shading is quite an intimidating project, but this is it's the first miniature I've ever finished, and I have tried to paint up some fantasy miniatures, but I've never crossed the finish line before. It was perhaps a bit ambitious to make a film while doing this, and I quickly realized that I couldn't paint on camera. I had to have the car right under my nose to actually see what I was doing. But I hope that you can use this video anyway. And as I said in the beginning of the video, if I can do this, so can you. So get to it and let me know about your results. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.